Hey guys, sedans are dead, and yet here I am with a brand new Audi S5 sedan. Of course, it's a sportback, which makes it a little bit more like a crossover or an SUV, but nevertheless, Audi has doubled down on the sedan, which I am very happy about because this is a fine, sporty vehicle. So in this video, I'm going to kind of show you what's new. We're going to go on the inside, show you the interior. We're going to go in the back seat, and at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you how much all this Audi goodness costs. Now, for 2025, Audi has revised the front end of the car, making it more aggressive, making it more in your face. And when you see this in your rearview mirror, you will have no doubt that there is a sporty sedan following you. One of the things that Audi is very proud of are these headlights right here. Now, one of the things you can do with these is you can customize the way those appear to 8 different specs, both the front and the rear. So if you want to make this Audi S5 your own, you can go into the MMI and you can change the way these light up so that your S5 is different than other people's S5. So let's look at what Audi has done under the hood. And it is a good thing because they have given the S5 more power. Now under the hood, you now have a revised 3-liter turbocharged powertrain that is not electrified in any way. It's just a traditional turbo that produces 362 horsepower and, get this, 406 pound-foot of torque, which is a lot. Now, the other cool thing about this is the turbo here has variable vanes, which Audi says allows you, or me, when you're driving it, to get more power and better fuel economy. All that goodness is paired to a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, which is very sporty, but some would say that the automatic might be a little smoother. Now, I'm kind of skirting around the fact that the driving impressions are embargoed until next month. So if you want to learn more about how this thing drives, what this engine does, what that, 406 pound-foot of torque feels like, because let's face it, people buy horsepower, but they drive torque, you'll have to come back next month when I'll have a first drive review. All right, so what else is new? Come on in the inside with me and I'll show you the inside. Now, I am a sucker for Audi interiors. They are just classic German professional interiors. I love these big wide seats, this diamond stitching, and of course, this very kind of no-nonsense Autobahn burner interior. And one of the things that is new is not that really good exhaust note if you hear it, is the fact that you do have now not 1, not 2, but 3 screens. Now there's something interesting about the passenger screen, and that is when there's no videos being shown on the passenger screen, I as a driver can actually see it. But if you turn a video on, all of a sudden it's only for the passenger, which allows your passenger to enjoy whatever YouTube video while you're driving the car. How cool is that? Hop on in with me and I'll go over some of the other new stuff. So let's start with kind of the most important thing, and that is, of course, the steering wheel. Flat bottom, flat top, nice fat leather. It's a really nice steering wheel. When you're sitting behind the wheel, it looks very purposeful, and that's because it is purposeful. Audi has changed up, let me grab the camera here, maybe you can see it, and improved the heads-up display so that you can change it around. Oh, going the wrong one. So you can change it around. So you can change it around. There we go. Hit the right button on the steering wheel finally. And you can customize it so you can do kind of a minimalist one, or you can kind of see what the cars around you are doing. You can also have navigation displayed where the arrow kind of points in midair, kind of above there where my finger is, so it shows you whether you need to go left or right. And it is very colorful and very handy. There you go. The other cool thing about the new Audi is there's speakers in the headrest. And if you're taking a phone call or if you're navigating, it's playing right through these 2 little speakers in your headrest, so mainly you can hear it and doesn't disturb the other passengers or the people in the car. A really cool and thoughtful feature. Now, Audi has redone their transmission selection, and it's become much more minimalist. I'm not sure I love this. I mean, every car now has a different transmission. You know, when I was a young lad, every car had like a transmission like this or a transmission like that. Now it's push buttons, it's push pull, and maybe it's just an automotive journalist thing, but I kind of miss the old days when it was relatively straightforward to figure out how to put a car in gear. But as the transmission goes, put in gear, you pull back, reverse, push forward, park, push in. Pretty straightforward, and thank God they still have a traditional volume knob, which is nice. They don't have a traditional tuning knob, but all the HVAC controls are always displayed under here. And I was playing around with the MMI interface, and you know, it's not that hard to get used to it. One of the new features is that the virtual assistant in the car has been expanded to make it a little more let's say, easy to use. So let's give it a shot. Let's see how it works. Hey, Audi.
Hello, how can I assist?
Tell me a joke.
I could not find any results right now. Please try again later.
All right, well, no joke. All right, let's try something else. Hey, Audi.
Hey, how can I assist?
Turn on auto hold.
I do not know how to help you with that.
And this has always kind of been the problem with these assistants, is you like ask them to do things, and then the response is, I don't know how to help you with that, or I can't do it right now. And then you kind of throw up your hands and you go, well, this thing's useless. I know that's not fair, but it is very human. So let's try something simpler. Hey, Audi.
Here.
Hey, Audi.
Each day I work on getting better at helping you with even more tasks.
All right, one more time. I'll use a button.
Yes, how can I help?
Turn down the temperature to 68 degrees.
I am setting the temperature to 68 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wahoo, thank you. All right, that one I got. One of the things that's unique in the Audi about the virtual assistant is that it knows where you're sitting. So if you notice there, it actually turned down my temperature to 68 degrees, but it kept the passenger temperature at 72 degrees. And so, you know, some of the stuff is very thoughtful. And some of it doesn't work, but like I was saying, unfortunately, if it doesn't work right away, you tend to get frustrated. You think to yourself, this thing is no good, and then you never kind of try it again. And that, like I said, is a very human thing. Now, you might be wondering, how much does this cost? Well, I do have a Monroney right here in the glove box, so let's take a look at it together. You'll note that the base price of this car is $62,700. This is the first edition, which gives you things like black trim mirror housing and door handle inlays. By the way, I do love the fact that it's got real controls for the vents, and they haven't gone with pop-out door handles like Mercedes or like Tesla. They're just kind of inset. But the first edition is an $1,800 option. Then it's got the Prestige package, which gives you the OLED taillights, the fine Napa, pearl Napa leather seats, heated rear seats, manual rear side window shades. We'll look at those in a second. On the sports adaptive suspension, that is a $7,550 option. The beautiful metallic paint, well worth it. $595 for a grand total of $73,940, which, you know, seems like a lot because it is a lot, but yet Audi says that that pricing is good until the end of May, at which point all bets are off depending on the tariffs. So if you want the S5, it's in your dealer right now, and if you want to get it for an MSRP of $73,000, well, $74,000 basically, I would recommend that you do so rather quickly. Now, another unusual thing which I couldn't figure out was this. I kind of get what Audi's doing with it, but when you go down, it kind of stops right there, and you're like, hey, is it broken? And then you push the little handle in, and it goes to the next click and the next click. So basically, it allows you to set this at the height that's most comfortable. I think it's going to confuse a lot of people because they're going to think it's broken instead of being something that's kind of clever and intuitive and interesting to use. Now, I'm a tall guy, and I have plenty of headroom. One of the unusual things about this car is this all-glass roof. Now, I saw this for the first time in the Porsche Taycan, and of course, that's part of the Volkswagen group, but check this out. Look at that. How cool is that? Not only can you do kind of that kind of interesting half dark and half light, but if you push in, you can do that. And then if you really want to get funky, you can switch it around. So depending on how much you want to entertain your little kids, there's pretty much you can do with this little sunroof. I kind of think this is actually really good because the issue, of course, is that there is no blind. And so on a sunny day, it's nice that you can kind of filter the light that comes through. The other thing that is, of course, very intuitive in this car is the fact that it's got Google Maps on here, Google Earth, in fact. And I just have always loved that in Audis because it makes navigating relatively straightforward. And we've got different drive modes. So in this case, we have balanced, dynamic, or I already heard it change the exhaust note. I don't know if you can hear that, but maybe at the end of this video, I'll ask my videographer, you can take my mic and we'll show you the difference. And then of course, comfort, which of course changes things like throttle mapping, suspension setup, the weight of the steering. I kind of like the balanced one. Sometimes I think there are too many options in a car, and with these three, it's very intuitive. You want to be sporty, go for dynamic. You want to be comfortable, go for comfort, or you want kind of the best of both worlds, go for the balanced one. It's kind of like I used to have an old, I think 200 Nissan 200ZX, and it had 3 suspension settings, and one was like firm, normal, and soft. And the normal one, it was the one I always kept it in, and I think this is the same way with this. Otherwise, everything is very businesslike, very straightforward. And for a while there, Audi was trying to kind of do a color palette for the different functions in the MMI, and I'm not sure that really worked. And so now, with these haptic controls, which I don't love, but which actually work pretty well, you can configure the main screen in front of you, you can configure this screen, and then if your passenger wants, they can change the radio or watch a movie, see what kind of fuel economy you're getting. And speaking of which, I can't show you that because it's the driving impression, but you can take a peek. No, you better not take a peek. I don't want to get myself in trouble with Audi. We'll get to that when we do the first drive. And thank you, Audi, for holding it in Denver. So I'm going to get to drive this car from Denver to Aspen next month. I can't wait. All right, let's jump in the back seat and see how I fit. All right, I set the seat on purpose, so I'll be sitting behind myself. One of the things that Audi has done is they have made this car a couple inches, less than a couple inches, bigger in all dimensions. So we're looking at more headroom. Yeah, which is, do I have tall hair today? Or is it short hair? I can't tell. If it's tall hair, I fit. If it's short hair, if it's tall hair, I don't fit. If it's short hair, I do fit. It's better. It's not great. But keep in mind that, I am relatively tall at 6'2". And like I said, you do have your heated seats back here. And then another feature that you pay for are these privacy shades. If I can figure out how to hook them up, which I always love because I feel like the Queen of England, or should I say the King of England now. In general, those are a much better place to sit than in the back here. Now, this does compete with cars like the BMW 3 Series, the Mercedes-Benz C-Class. So we're not talking about executive saloons. Is that what the British call them? We're talking about kind of one size below them. Now, Audi has pioneered in their S5 the Sportback, or dare I say the Germans have pioneered the Sportback, which gives you a lot, I almost swore, ton of luggage space. We have set some stunt bags here so you can see how much room there is. The nice thing is that obviously you've got this cavernous entrance where you can throw a lot of stuff back there, and then you also have a 40-20 split. I'll show you that. I'll open it up, which lets you do things like pack the back with skis. So I always thought that was very thoughtful. So, a lot of room, and of course, kind of the new rear end. And one of the things that I had complained about vociferously in the past, sorry, big word there, is the fact that Audi had especially on their S and the RS models, these fake tailpipes where they were these giant openings and yet the tailpipes were kind of pointing down. Well, Audi has rectified that with these quad exhausts. And you know what? I'm going to hand you the mic now. And hold on. We'll do this. I'm going to go in and I'm going to start the car. We're doing this all by ourselves out here. And I'm going to start in comfort, and then I'll put it in dynamic, and I'll go vroom vroom in comfort, and I'll go vroom vroom in dynamic. And you guys out there can see if there's a difference in the exhaust note. So let's do that. You need to move that mic closer. Closer? Yeah. Put it right there. There we go. Right now, this is comfort. Boy, we got that just done in time because I think there's a Southwest flight coming overhead. So I heard a difference. I mean, it's not something where you're gonna, piss off your neighbors if you have it in dynamic in the morning and you leave work early. But there's definitely more kind of burble, a little bit more backfire to it. So yeah, there's definitely a difference in sound quality going from comfort to dynamic. Now let's check out these wheels. Because these are the Prestige wheels, and I love the kind of the hidden back brake calipers. We're looking at 245 35 20s, a little bit rubber bandy. Might be a rough ride, but once again we'll have to wait for that for the driving impressions. But it is a very handsome looking wheel. It does stick out a little bit, so it might be very curbable. Let's see, that was a 245 35 20. Let's see if these are staggered or not. So this is a 235 35 20, so they're not staggered, so it won't cost you an arm and a leg if you have to rotate the wheels. Overall, I think Audi has done a really good job in making the car much more aggressive, much more meaningful in kind of that German Autobahn way, where when you see, like I said, the car in the back of your rearview mirror, you're like, shoot, I better get out of the way. Now, driving impressions are coming next month, and I think this is where this car really will pay off, because let's face it, guys, SUVs and crossovers, as much as they're great for the family and as much as they're great on the road where you can see up and over them, they're not a hoot to drive on the road. And Audi will tell you that the reason that they're still doing sportback sedans is because you kind of get that sense of fun and dynamic. Well, you know what I'm talking about. I'll let you correct me in the comments. I'm sure you will. Dynamics when you drive it. As always, this is Roman reporting for TFL. Head over to alltfl.com for more news, views, and real world reviews. I shall see you next time. Ciao.